The Nuggets, for the second week in a row, go down to the wire with the Raptors. It took overtime last Monday in Toronto. Tonight, they get out with a 121-119 win, and everyone was holding their breath as an R.J. Barrett 3 spun in and out of the rim. Russell Westbrook said post-game that he wasn't worried, he even got a finger on it. Then he looked back and was maybe just a touch worried. Nikola Jokic said he thought that it was going in. But it was a really interesting night because you already were without Jamal Murray. He's still coming off the concussion. Fingers crossed he'll be ready to go soon. And then Aaron Gordon leaves 5 minutes into the game. Post-game, you weren't sure exactly what was going on, but Michael Malone tried to calm nerves down by saying he's just been banged up, and he was even surprised that he played Saturday or today, and this is maybe more a culmination versus a big injury, but he needed to double check with the medical staff. So fingers crossed, AG, if he does have to miss a game or 2 or 3, he's not out for very long. But obviously you have to give huge props to Nikola Jokic for what he was able to do with these young guys. 28 points, 14 boards, 14 assists. MPJ gets you 19. Christian Brown has 17, and Russell Westbrook having to start got you 21. But it was the story of the night was the young guys closing out with Nikola Jokic and Christian Brown, another starter, or one of those young guys, and Michael Porter Jr. Then you bring in Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther, your first-round pick from a year ago, and Peyton Watson now in year 3 expecting big things, and they delivered. Strawther with a huge block and then a couple huge plays on the offensive end, including a big layup late. Peyton Watson gets a pass from Michael Porter Jr. in the corner, actually about 2 feet from where I'm standing, and knocks down maybe the biggest 3 of his young career to this point. And for a guy that didn't play in the preseason, it's good to see him get going. So that's where we're going to kind of keep this theme, is Michael Malone happy with the kind of bizarro lineup he had to use, including a lot of minutes from Hunter Tyson, who hasn't played a lot, Zeke Naji, who we haven't seen play a lot, but both played right around 15 minutes and were contributors after having, I think, good performances Saturday night in their minutes against the Jazz. They were able to come back and play well in maybe more important minutes tonight in a close game where they were trailing almost the entire game. So here's Michael Malone on that kind of bizarro lineup that he used to close out.
Yeah, I mean, that lineup, Russ played so many minutes, I got him out, and to your point, CB, Julian, Peyton, Michael, Nikola. And obviously we all know what Nikola's going to do, another triple-double for him. But Peyton's overall game, I thought he was outstanding. He was the defensive player of the game for us tonight, but makes a huge 3. Julian, after a very subpar first half, comes out there in the second half and plays the way we need him to play. Michael Porter, to have 22 second chance points. We were struggling to make shots for a while, and Michael's activity on the glass was really important. But yeah, that was we have a lot of young players, and the more they're in those types of situations, Scott, it's only going to help their confidence and their development. And I was proud of our group. I think we're down 11 with 5:30 to go, and that was a message all night long. We weren't playing great. Turned the ball over a ton in the first half, did a much better job in the second half. But just stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. We got a lot of time left. And that's probably the 3rd or 4th time that's early in the season where there has been no panic. Just stay the course, all right? Let's stay the course and find a way to figure it out. And obviously that shot at the end, from my vantage point, I still don't know how it didn't go down. But I'm very thankful, ungrateful dead night that it didn't.
And so I mentioned that it was a theme. That was kind of the theme with everybody that talked post-game, and you can catch all of that on our Guerilla Sports feed. But here's Nikola Jokic, who said that he really enjoys playing some of these really important minutes with the young guys when some of the other starters aren't able to go.
I actually really do. I like to play with the young. I mean, with guys that, let's say, don't have that much playing time. I mean, they actually kind of do. Peyton played 30 minutes today, Julian played 25. And I really actually do enjoy to play with them just to see how they're going to react, what they're going to do experience-wise. I really do enjoy playing with young people.
And as I mentioned, Peyton Watson hit that big 3, 16 points off the bench, and again going to play tough defense and be active and give you everything that Peyton Watson can give you. So he was able to talk in the locker room about being able to not only play those meaningful minutes, but being able to contribute in a meaningful way.
Adding Julian to our young core, it meant a lot to us. And that was just kind of a little preview of what's to come from us. I think all of us play so confidently, even despite our age. So it was good to be out there with those guys and get a win.
So now you're going to have to spin it forward. You've won 2 in a row. You're back above 500, or I guess above 500 for the first time this year, if we can do that math right. So you're sitting at 4-3. Another tough test. I guess you can call it the toughest test to date. You get the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are playing as good a basketball as anyone. They win again tonight, and they are 7-0. They're going to come in fully loaded. Nikola Jokic knows that it will be a challenge, but says he's looking forward to it. I asked him post-game about this being kind of an early barometer, knowing there's obviously several months and more than 70 games left to play. What will it mean if they can go toe-to-toe with OKC and maybe get a little revenge from the opener, but just see the growth from Game 1 to Game 7? He said, well, I'm not even sure we'll be healthy, alluding to the fact that Aaron Gordon may have to miss the game Wednesday and not 100% sure that Jamal Murray will be back. But he was in the gym shooting this morning at shoot-around, and at halftime, I was walking and watching the Monday Night Football game on my phone and kind of bumped into the wall, and Jamal happened to be right by me. He's like, hey, watch out for that wall. So he's in good spirits, and it was all smiles, so fingers crossed he can go, because they will need all hands on deck to have a shot to beat this really good OKC Thunder team. But they survive and beat a young, hungry team in Toronto who's still feeling their way through this league and trying to figure out who they are, but they've played a bunch of close games, and so it's good for those young guys with the Nuggets to beat this young Toronto team and be out there with Nikola in meaningful minutes. We will now see how they respond Wednesday night against the Thunder, and we will have you covered top to bottom as we do on all things Nuggets hoops here at Guerilla Sports. I'm Brandon Krisztal.